Hi, I'm Sarah from 7 Makes. In this video, we're going to make a reusable alternative to single-use product. This time it's going to be reusable facial cleansing pads. You know those cotton wool pads you use in the bathroom to remove makeup, put it on toner and things like that? This is an eco-friendly, reusable alternative, and I'm going to show you how to make them. Let's get started. So for this project, you're going to need 9 centimetre by 9 centimetre squares of toweling, 9 centimetre by 9 centimetre squares of cotton, pins, some kind of pokey tool to poke out the corners, your snips, your sewing machine with the thread, and for this we're just using a straight stitch, so no need for any different foot. We're going to put right sides together, and I'm going to keep the toweling to the bottom, and what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around here and leave a gap open for turning. Let's get pinning. And I always put the pin where the gap is going to be horizontally and the rest of the pins heading out towards the edge of the fabric. These ones I do at an angle towards the corner. We can probably get away without any halfway along. And you might be confident doing this without pinning. That's absolutely fine. I just prefer to know that it's definitely going to be in the right place. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to push this away so that the end of the pin is far enough along for the presser foot to have room to sit, so we can start our stitching here. Let's start sewing. We're going to start with some back stitches just to make sure our stitching is nice and strong, and then we'll go forward and we stop on the edge with the needle down. Then we can lift the presser foot up, turn it 90 degrees, and then do the same and sew all the way along this end. Same again, turn in the corner and sew a nice straight stitch. I am leaving, I would say maybe 1/4 of an inch seam allowance here, maybe less. So it's quite close to the edge. Go as close as you're confident going, but don't worry about it being exactly the same. Nobody's going to measure your facial cleansing pads and make sure that they're exactly symmetrical. And then the last little bit, so I'm going to take this straight stitch pin out at this point and move forwards, a little bit of a back stitch, and then stop. Cut off the thread. As you can see, that's sewn nicely all the way around. So we'll take the pins out. Grab our scissors, cut the corners again. So the reason that I use squares of fabric, I initially made these in circles, but I found that there was a lot more scrap fabric happening, so it's absolutely okay to have them squares. And actually corners are really handy if you need to get in for makeup and things like that as well, so much more useful and no textile waste, which is the main point of these things. So we'll turn it inside out. A wee tip when you're turning things inside out, start with one of the far corners. So instead of starting with a close corner, if you start with the far ones, especially if you've left quite a small space, you're more likely to get it through in one go. Turn it right side round. Grab your pokey thing, poke out the corners gently, not too much, you don't want to break through the stitching, but it's starting to form itself as well. If you like, you can iron it at this point so it's nice and crisp edged. I'm going to finger press it, which is cheating, but it's all good. Tuck this in, and then we're going to pin along this edge. So we've tucked the toweling in and the cotton, and we're just going to pin it and then we're going to top stitch all the way around. At this point you could pick a colour of thread that you wanted to use as a top stitch, something maybe that works really well with your fabric, something that's going to make you smile when you're using them. I'm going to pick orange, I think, for mine. And because the toweling is a pale colour, I'm going to stick with white as my bottom thread and the colour from the top thread. These reusable facial cleansing pads are one of my best-selling products at 7 Makes, and I find that they are extremely popular. The only problem being a stall holder is that people will come and say, oh, I bought those from you 2 years ago and I'm still using them. So from a business perspective, it's not wonderful because they do last, but it's absolutely wonderful because what you're not doing is putting a whole load of stuff into landfill, because it's all natural materials, and especially if you can get hold of bamboo toweling as well, it's so much better for you and so much better for the environment, and they look really cute as well. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to top stitch around, and the main purpose of this top stitch is to seal the opening closed, but also it's just a decorative thing to make it go all the way around. So you could just go over the opening, but what we're going to do is go around all 4 edges of the makeup removal pad just to make it look better. Take the pin out, all the way to the corner, leave the needle down at the corner, rotate. And you might find that because you're starting really close to the edge, that you have to very gently tease the fabric towards the back of the machine as you start stitching. That's okay, don't force it ever, but definitely it's okay to push it really gradually until the feed dogs start doing their job. And you can see I finished on a wee back stitch there just to make it nice and neat. And what I'll do is get my snips, cut off any excess threads. So there you go, makeup removal pads, bamboo on one side and cotton on the other. The lovely thing about this is you can use both sides. So the cotton is slightly more abrasive, I guess, so would be more exfoliating, and the bamboo very, very soft and gentle. So the exfoliating side you could use maybe on oilier parts of your skin, and the bamboo is really good around your eyes and around sensitive parts as well. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and don't forget to check out my other videos for more eco-friendly inspiration. Thanks for watching. Bye. And a big thank you to the Tackling Textiles Fund from Keep Northern Ireland Beautiful, which allowed all of these videos to happen.